Mr. Mkadi, good morning, or Captain Mkadi, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. We were just wondering, with all kinds of measures in our ports and in our borders, how you are doing in terms of ensuring that our harbours are not entry points of COVID-19.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for that. We have developed various controls throughout all our ports of entry, in particular our seaports or the commercial ports, noting that we have a very long transit between the affected countries and South Africa. We strengthen our processes using port health directives and also continuously working with them, adopting all the National Department of Health controls that they've assisted us with, and to ensure that all the vessels coming to South Africa, there's a stronger level of risk assessment and declaration and history where they actually come from in terms of the coronavirus, which has been sensitive over the last few weeks.
Do you start the assessment after docking, or as they approach the harbour, or before they get into the harbour, you send out a team to go and assess a vessel to see if nobody on board is got COVID-19?
We developed the risk assessment in February, which covers a wide variety of requirements, including the declaration well before even the vessel arrives in South Africa. Specifically not less than 5 days before the vessel arrives. When the vessels, they declare, they have to provide us the last 10 port of calls, specifically the high-risk areas, so that we can able to track that information together with Port Health. They will then provide the Port Authority the information about those vessels, and then the vessels will then be cleared in terms of the free pratique to enter the port of South Africa, as long as they are not less than 14 days, which is regarded as an incubation period.
Yeah, there are no restrictions in place currently by yourselves in terms of which vessels from which countries can dock?
Currently, there are no restrictions, although obviously as the coronavirus is strengthening, our first focus was more from vessels coming from Asia. And then now we have realized that Europe is also got a problem. And we're now focusing highly on a Western trade, north-south, coming to Cape Town and then to South African ports. And then we have engaged the stakeholders and established that those vessels, when they arrive, they are actually outside of the incubation period of 14 days. They take around 20 days to come from Europe.
Just give us a sense, give our viewers a sense, Mr. Mkadi. How many vessels land on our shores? I mean, we understand Richards Bay is busy. We understand that the harbour, Durban port, is very busy. Is there a sense of how many vessels you are dealing with on a daily basis coming from all over the world?
Currently, we have a wide variety of vessels, from containers to automotive to passenger vessels. Obvious passenger vessels are mostly in the south, in and around the area. So there's quite a wide range of variety of vessels, and we are confident that the controls that we have in place, they actually provide us an opportunity to track the coronavirus activities. So we are very confident as Transnet and the National Ports Authority as well to ensure that these controls are actually helping us to mitigate the spread of coronavirus.
Your passenger vessels will include the likes of cruise ships. I mean, we've seen some cruise ships having challenges, like off Japan, the Diamond cruise ship that we heard about.
Indeed. The passenger vessels have become quite a high sensitive point. They also working through them with the partners to ensure that all the activities as they enter on board, there are actually much more wider checks that are being done, working together with Port Health. As they come back, we do the same thing. You may note that MSC vessels, they operate in Durban, and those are actually stringently monitored, as MSC as well as also strengthen their controls on board the vessels.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mkadi, for your time. Speaking, of course, from Transnet, one of his responsibility is safety and health.